Lori's my age, within a couple of months. So
Long Lori Vallow's life has been behind bars. She burst into the spotlight in early 2020 when the world learned that her two children, 16-year-old Tylee and 7-year-old JJ, had disappeared. Well, she lolled around in the sun in Hawaii.
Hey, Chad and Lori, it's Dateline. How are you?
With her newly married fifth husband, Chad Daybell.
Pause for a moment. That voice was Nate Eaton, right?
Nate Eaton. I got to meet him on Tuesday morning. I'm a huge fan. I have 2 of his t-shirts that say, life goal, not to have my mugshot appear on East Idaho News.
Right. Yes.
What amazing work, though. What amazing journalistic work, though, to track them down all the way to Hawaii.
And to get them, not just to track them down, but to actually be right there. Like, that's some amazing journalism. I was interested when you informed me offline that Nate is actually a member of the Latter-day Saints, which I found. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I don't know that there's any elaborating except the fact that there are people associated with the families of the victims that are not a huge fan of. At times he seems to maybe protect the church a little bit in some of his coverage. Like he will like go out of his way to say, hey, this is Chad and Lori, this has nothing to do with the Mormon church. And not everybody agrees with that perspective, that it has nothing to do with the Mormon church.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the Mormon church, because, and like I said, my son and I had this discussion and it made me think about it a lot. The Mormon church has a cultish, and is considered a cult by a lot of people. Like a lot of mainstream Christians are like, the Mormon church is evil. It's a total cult and it's not Christian and they don't worship Jesus and they don't know Jesus. And there are arguments that you can make for that. That's fine. But a lot of Mormons believe they are Christian, but fundamentally, because of the way that we're raised and we're indoctrinated in the church and we're raised to believe that it's the only true church, and we have all of these rules and guidelines to follow, and we have to date only members and all of that. I believe that it lends itself to the weird, evil offshoot cults. And I don't believe that the Mormon church is necessarily weird, evil offshoot, but the series I'm doing with Kresha is like opening my eyes. Like there is some evil shit going on inside the church. There is.
And Kresha brings receipts too. She has dedicated her life to educating herself and deep diving from a standpoint of no understanding really of Mormonism, right? So honestly, chat. I think that if you haven't already, go and watch part 1, part 2, and part 3, and there'll be at least another part to it because we've still got a few more pages of that Glenn.
Right. Well, after the Glenn Pace memo, we have to get into the Underground Railroad. So, yeah, keep your eyes open for that. She's going to teach us about, and this isn't the slavery Underground Railroad. This is the Mormon victims Underground Railroad. That's supposed to be a good thing and ends up not being a good thing.